Namaste. Hello, this is Anita and welcome to my channel. Let me turn up the volume. So it's up now. Welcome to my channel and good morning. This is morning for me, very early. It's like 6:20 in the morning. I've been up all freaking night again. It's like a thing I love. I'm a night owl. Oh. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something serious. Like, I used to be an alcoholic and I've had drug abuse for a lot of years of my life, but I managed to get over both of these things and I never got any help doing that. When I was an alcoholic, I stopped drinking about, if I have to be honest, completely honest, I have to count the years. I've been here for approximately 6 years where I haven't been drinking, and I quit like 3 years, in 2 or 3 years before I got here. So like 8 or 9 years I've been sober. I've been drinking a few times, but I never drank, got to drink, I never drunk so much. So I lost control, and I am totally in control of it if I drink, but I drink very, very rare and very, very little. I'm very proud of myself. I stopped from one day to another because I just realized how stupid I was and how many stupid things I got involved with and how many people I hurt around me and how much I was destroying and hurting my own life. I was a serious alcoholic. I was drinking 3 bottles of vodka every fucking day. And if not vodka, then something else, just a strong and cheap, maybe some apple wine or some cherry wine or some wine, 3 boxes of wine or whatever. But regularly, if I could get the vodka, it was vodka. And I did this in a period because I started drinking because I seriously, because my daughter was investigated for being possibly abused. There was never any real clearance around it, and I really just went down in a hole. I couldn't handle it. I grew up with a family who had, there was a lot of talk about abuse in my family, and all the boyfriends I've had always thought I was abused as a child, as I was, but not sexually as far as I know. But I've blocked out most of my childhood since I had a very fucking rough childhood. I was a very different child. I was a very hysterical child. I was a very intelligent child, and I was bullied a lot. And my way of dealing with this was like going amok. But then I always had to listen to stories about my mother's sister, and her being abused by a vacuum tube by a family that they were adopted into. They had a really rough childhood as well, and they were adopted. And my mother always denies this fact that it was true. I think she blocks it out. But my mother's sister, she won the case against the guys, so I really believe that it happened. And I listened to these stories all my life, and I really think that affected me when I was like, the suspicion of my own daughter being in that situation occurred. I was like, I couldn't deal. So I started drinking. Also, I started drinking for two reasons. Also, I started to drink because I was mentally ill. I had a psychosis and I could not control my head. And I was like, I was psychotic for a period of 2.5 years. And I drank at the time to control my thoughts, but I was not an alcoholic. I was not addicted to the shit, and I didn't drink that heavy. I just drank to a certain level to control myself, and then I started drinking really heavy later on when I was schizophrenic, which I am not now anymore. It's a long fucking story, and there's a lot of balls in the air that I have to tackle and to tell this whole thing. Anyway, drugs has always been a part of my life since I was like 12, 15, whatever, and they kind of still am in a way. I don't promote drugs in any way, but I'm being honest about it. If I go to a party, I'm not gonna say no to dropping ecstasy or whatever, LSD. But I don't. I never really did heroin that much. I just did some stuff. But I don't. I don't want to do drugs anymore. I want to like move on with my life. I don't do weed. I think weed makes me very paranoid. I think weed is one of the strongest substances out there. I think it's good for a lot of things and good for a lot of people, but I also think it's a very dangerous drug because you can really get so fucking paranoid from it. And being paranoid is just not really nice, and you cannot control what you do because when you're paranoid, you get like So you can become very dangerous for your surroundings, because if you become scared, you will do anything to protect yourself. That's basic instinct. That's nature, human nature. And so I believe that we should be legalized, but under controlled environments. And I think alcohol should be illegalized. And I think actually people should be able to choose what they insert into themselves. I believe in a lot of spiritual drugs. I know for a fact that the psilocybin, the mushrooms, can cure. They proved that a year ago, that they can actually go and cure a physical. I'm talking about a physical brain damage. But at the same time, they can go up in your brain and create new brain cells. We've been eating these mushrooms since we were the Vikings, and I am descended from the Vikings, so it's natural for me to want to like have a relationship with that kind of stuff. Also, I have a dream of going to Mexico and to peyote in the desert with the shamans, like the ritual. So you can use drugs different ways. I believe drugs can be very good for you, and you can use them in spiritual growth and evolving of yourself and your mental state of mind, and the whole understanding of the universe and everything. I really do. I've seen it. I've done LSD like 2,000 to 3,000 times in my life. I've done all drugs on the planet Earth. I was intoxicated by the trumpet flower, the devil's trumpet in India, and that made me sick. And that made me really fucking see things that I was not really supposed to. I was not supposed to see. And I believe that we jump from dimension to dimension, and there's so much to talk about. I have so many things I want to talk about, and it's all connected, and it's all gonna sound like I'm talking like rant, but it's all connected. And what started in India when they gave me the Tura was me having a long road ahead of me. Now it's been 16 years. I've been okay in my mental health for the last 3 years. I can say with a positive, I've been like okay. I have not have any compulsive thinking, which was my worst problem when I was schizophrenic. I'm still I still take medication, but I take a very small doses, and I'm on my way out of it, and I'm going to go down to take as little doses I can, and if I can get out of it, I want to get out of it. But if I need it, I'm going to take it, because I don't ever want to feel that again. I don't ever want to be scared or not being able to control my brain, or not be able to be in control, and just having to deal with being afraid, and not afraid, but like fighting your own mind all the time. That is like the craziest shit ever. And now my television, it's long. Anyway, I don't want to say drugs are bad, because drugs have helped me a lot along the way to understand, explain things for me, and understand why I'm in the world and how the world is connected. And it's helped me evolve into being a very open-minded and spiritual individual. And I consider myself fairly high intelligent. I just currently started reading a book that I like. The last time I read it, I didn't read the first few chapters, because it's all about biochemical genes, now I cannot talk, R&D and DNA and all these things, and all these processes about the chromosomes, about the everything is explained in details, and I cannot sit here and retell it, because I just read it, and this time I got it, like I understood it, and it's reading on such a high level. But I wasn't able to do that, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't lived the life I've been living, and done the things I've done. I've been in a serious drug abuse, but I also got out of it in time. I did inject myself with cocaine, but I never. I did try heroin, but heroin was never my drug. It's like I don't get why people can get addicted to a drug that is not even fun. It's just like it's boring, and you get like emotions. You don't feel nothing. I just don't feel it, and it's not for me. And weed is definitely not for me anymore. It used to be very fun when I was young, and I was like, tripping on it, but then it was not enough anymore, and I started with the mushrooms and the LSD acid. And if you think about it, all the great music and most of the great artists alive, and the most Bill Gates, whatever, big brains of this world has gotten their ideas, written their songs, made their best art because of drugs, because of using drugs like LSD, which is and mushrooms, psychedelic drugs that explores and expands the mind. So let's face it. Let's try and understand that you cannot say drugs are bad for you. You can say this drug is bad for you. This drug is good for you. This drug can be good for you. This could be bad for you. This could positively be good or bad for you, because all drugs is different. But one thing is sure, alcohol is really bad for you. Okay, and that is legal. Alcohol kills more people together a year than all drugs together. All accidents, car accidents, all sicknesses like AIDS and cancer together on the planet a year. Alcohol kills more people. And that's just stating a fact, you know. So saying drugs is bad is bullshit, you know, but saying alcohol should be legalized is okay, right? Go drink, go kill your brain cells, be a slave, be a stupid mind, go lock yourself in a cage, right? Just follow the mainstream. That's bullshit. And you cannot say all drugs are bad, because not all drugs are. If a drug can go up and cure a physical brain damage, think about it. How can that ever be bad? And create new brain cells. How can that ever be bad? You know, you kill your brain cells, it can only get better. And some drugs expand the mind, and it's proven. It's proven in so many situations. They start researching it again. Why do you think it's against the law? Because the CIA, which were the ones who brought it on the market in the early 60s to test it on people, and you know, oh, I got lipstick on my nose. Sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I've been watching both Kat Von D's and Jeffree Star's videos, for example, and this is not going to be about them, but she's like talking about him promoting drugs, and I'm promoting drugs over alcohol, and but that doesn't make me a bad person. She shouldn't judge him for that, because he's only smoking weed, and he's like medical marijuana, and it's legal. So why are you bashing him for that? That is bullshit. But I do understand where you come from with all the other stuff you say, and I do agree with you. He should definitely pay if he hasn't paid, and his attitude and what he has done. But I'm sure you did your mistake, fair share of mistakes too. And if you're watching this video by the end, I'm a fan of you, and I have pictures painting of Jeffree over there. You know, and I'm a fan of both of you, and I think it's retarded that you have to argue like this. But I do understand where Kat is coming from, and I think she sounds very reasonable. But I think it's bullshit that she says that he promotes drugs abuse, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know what, she was drinking a lot and she got out of it, and that's very cool. I really respect her for that, because I've been through that and I know exactly what that is. But I mean, saying drugs are bad is just like a little too much. You can say some drugs are bad, some drugs are good. Actually, no drugs are bad for you if you take them pure and you get the right amount to eat. It's the lifestyle behind getting the money to get the drugs that is bad for you. Actually, if you inject cocaine, it's the most purest way to take it. But the way, the lifestyle and the money to get it, the dose all the time. If you had an unlimited supply, it would not, and it was pure, and you didn't take too much, it would not be bad for you. It would not damage your body. It wouldn't. It's just a fact, another fact. So it's bullshit. I'm so sick of people always saying drugs are bad. Drugs are fucking amazing. If you take LSD and you have a great trip, it's fucking amazing. If you can see how the earth is breathing, how everything is alive, and it's fucking beautiful, and it's fucking amazing. Now I'm probably gonna lose subscribers or gain some, I don't know. I don't care, but I'm sick of this world always bashing and then promoting alcohol. It's like, and we're living in a society full of rules, and we judge each other. Of course there need to be rules, because we cannot allow child abuse, we cannot allow animal abuse, but we do allow animal abuse, right? Because the way we treat the animals that we slaughter to eat is very, very, very cruel. So we say you cannot fuck a cow or fuck a horse, but we can inseminate it with our arms. It's like the whole world is so freaking confusing, and the whole world is such a fucking lame place. It's amazing that people are so stupid and ignorant, and it pisses me off. And I know this is a rant, and I know I talk a little bit this and a little bit about that, but I'm dead serious. Is this world is going to shit, you know? It is such a beautiful planet. We're so fortunate, and I do believe the only real hell that exists because we make it so, or in our own minds. Because I don't believe in that pain is because pain is like this. Pain you can only feel to a certain level, and then you block it out and you can't feel anymore. So I don't believe in some sort of physical hell, but I believe in a mental hell, because I've been in a mental hell for like 13 years non-stop, and that was like losing yourself, not being able to control anything, and not having the power to just understand anything and understand yourself. It was so hardcore, man. I tell you, it was so fucking stressful and hurtful and painful and scary. Most of all, very scary. And people, they say, oh, but that's because you did drugs. No, it's not. Because even though I was scared of that, I was never scared of doing the drugs I did. But I was, LSD I'm talking about mainly, but I was scared because I got one specific drug, and this is the trumpet devil's flower. It's called the Tura, and it's also called the Jameson weed, and it's the most dangerous drug on the planet of this earth, and that was what made me sick. So one particular drug made me sick, which is the most dangerous drugs you can ever take. There's so many dangerous stuffs in the nature and poisons and shit that you cannot take, but if you take it and you can use them in the right way, you can actually turn it around and make it into something positive. And that goes for all things. I'm lucky I'm not psychotic anymore. I'm lucky I'm not still schizophrenic. I'm lucky that I've been able to work with myself so massive, so hardcore, that I've overcome this major shit that was like not being capable of controlling my own mind. And now I'm on the other side. I've been for 3 years. I have never had more confidence. I've never been more secure. I've never been more outspoken. I've never felt better in my body. I've never been more proud of myself. And I've never, been more beautiful. And I was beautiful as a child, but I was so insecure and locked up. And I was beautiful, but I never realized it. And I lost so many years of my life. And now I've been in jail for 6 years. And I have to say this. I was like watching this girl, Arden, Chloe Arden, and she's a transsexual girl. And like she's having her channel on YouTube, and I respect it a lot, because I have friends who are transgenders, and I've been researching the area, this topic a lot, and I really get it. They're born in the wrong body, these people, and they and then this person writes, because I write a positive comment, and he writes to me, answering that because I'm mentally, I go to hell with her. What the fuck of a sick mind is that? He's supposed to be a Christian? No. I was raised a Christian. I went to Christian camps all the time when I was a kid. Christian minds don't think like that. That is an evil man. That is an evil, twisted, fucking evil man. Because even if you're a Christian, you want to open your heart, you want to educate. Maybe you think it's wrong, maybe you think it's not right, but you never want to bash somebody. You want to do what's right, and you're going to try to pray for them. But hey, what did prayers ever get anybody? If your child comes to you and says, I fell and broke my knee, will you say, oh, let me say a prayer for you? Or will you say, let's go to the emergency, or let me bandage you? Prayers, meditation works. But you can say prayers is the same as meditation. Well, kind of not. Because if you're a Christian and you pray to God, and I know this because that's how I was taught on these camps and in this Christian family, that was singing after film, thank you God, thank you Jesus, and oh my God, and whatever. I'm not especially Christian. I'm not especially Buddhist. I believe that love is all around us, and it's in ourselves. You must redeem within yourself, and if you can forgive yourself and find peace within yourself and overcome all the troubles and struggles in your mind, and you can find peace within, then you found God, and yeah, then you overcome. And I have a message for you. When you say Jesus, try saying yes, us, because we're all God's children, and that's us. So we're Jesus, all of us. We can survive if we want to. So say yes, us, yes, us. And that's not coming from any perspective that anybody is more or less, or any religion is higher or lower, or that I'm Christian or that I'm more, because I choose to use that word. All words is it can be mind games. You can twist and turn around all words, and actually there's a universal language. If you can learn reading the signs, and you can learn interpreting what people they say to you, if you listen carefully, you can actually understand it, because all languages origins from one language. We all come from the same place, and they all just made up these little, like the brain has like all these ways to go out, all the language just spread out. And if you listen, you can it's all based on Latin, the English, the Danish, whatever, and you can he was come on, come here, come here. I know, Danish is like, and Dutch and German, everything is like, and that's it's incredible. Of course, it can be very difficult, but to understand, and very difficult to understand these things. But you gotta have a really open mind, and you gotta maybe explore and take some chances. And I took a lot of chances exploring with my mind, and like. What do you say? Like I took so many drugs, that LSD-based drugs, like mind-expanding drugs. So I really experimented, and I took chances, and I really never will regret it, because it took me to places I never expected to go. And I'm not done exploring and experimenting. I'm just on a temporary stop button, but I'm not scared of drugs. I'm scared of particular drugs, and I don't advocate drugs here. I don't say go give your kids drugs. Don't go out do drugs. I say do what you feel is right for you, but don't bash others. Don't bash anybody for their beliefs. Don't bash people for what they think is right, because they're born individuals, and they have a right to do with their bodies and their minds what they want to do to a certain point. Okay, the point of stop is to like monitor and take care of each other. If we all take care of each other and monitor each other in a nice way, I'm not talking Big Brother way. I'm talking like you take care of the people around you, and we all like. Then there's room for this. I don't know if you follow me, or if you agree with me. I think I'm totally, or if I'm making any sense in this video. But I hope I do make sense. I know I'm rambling a lot, and I know it's a big rant, but I just have so many things on my mind, and so many things in my heart, and it's so many things I want to get out there, and like I want to reach people. That's why I made this video, made this channel. And I know I make a lot of videos about makeup, and a lot of videos about different stuff. I make all kinds of videos. But it depends what mood I'm in, and I'm like slowly opening up for Pandora's box here, I'm slowly like opening up to showing myself to the world, because I've been in isolation for so long. It's like being in a yogi in a cave for 6 years, and that's a long time. I know it's a different situation because my will is materialized. I mean, it's full of materialized stuff. But check my poster here. I want to show you this. Check this out. Oh, wait a second. Let me show you this really. This is us. Oh, that was Jeffree. Go the other way. Look at this. This is what I look at every day, and this is how I think everything is beautiful. And look there, we have the anonymous. Know who you support. Know where you stand, and stop judging everybody, and stop like just because you're vegan, that's good for you. For example, I really would like to be vegan. I think it's such a good concept, but I can't go vegan where I am right now, because that's just not an option for me. I can be vegetarian, but the food is really bad for me here if I go vegetarian, and like, don't judge people for eating meat just because it's again back to the Jeffree Star thing, because it's a big problem and a big issue right now with Kat and him. And Kat, it's cool that you're a fucking vegan now, but Jeffree is not. But he's still promoting a vegan brand, and you should be proud of that. And you helped him to get where he got today. But I mean, shouldn't you be happy that he managed to? Maybe he changed, and maybe his personality changed, and you don't like the person he is now. But should you try to bash him and take his brand to a different level? It's still good, his brand. Some of it, I don't agree, not all of it is good, but some of it is good, and it's real good, and yours is really good, and you should just, I don't know, you shouldn't have publicized. You should have, I don't know. Of course, this guy BJ should have his money, and of course, but it's so unfair to go on a social media, and it's so unfair to bash him for being an advocate for legal drugs. It's legal in California. It's not like he's doing anything illegal. So you cannot say that he's promoting drugs. He's promoting something legal, god damn it. And I don't know. I know it's bad that he's a racist, and because he said a racist, and you just don't want to be associated with him because you're afraid to lose customers, because you think, I don't know. I just think that it's a bad situation you created for both of you, and I think you didn't need to do that. But I really like you, Kat, and I'm sorry that I go into this. It's just because the drug thing really bothers me so much, man. It pisses me off, and people should be more educated, and they should read more about it, and they should investigate. And I'm talking about stuff like ayahuasca, peyote, mescaline, LSD, mushrooms, weed. Actually, also, it's a whole culture. There's a whole subsystem that thrives very well and have been doing this. And actually, out of the people I know from the environment, I was doing all these kind of the psychedelic drugs. Like a few people, like 2 out of 200 or 500 have died from it, from causes of drugs. 2 out of 500 maybe, and the rest, maybe a few of us has gone like over the top insane, but because of a single thing. Like in my case, this stupid drug, which I love. I have the tattoo to remind me every day that I beat that devil ship, and I lost my mind and I gained it back because I struggled to. It was not via medicine, because I didn't get medicine for all the years I was sick. I just started getting medicine about 5 years ago, and I was almost well at that time. I had a little bit of compulsive thinking, but it was so little compared to how crazy I was when I was psychotic, and how crazy I was when I first became schizophrenic. And again, back to the Christian guy who condemned me to hell for being mental ill. I used to be, and he condemns me to hell. Who the is he to even have an opinion when he doesn't know anything, and to judge people like that, and then claim to be Christian? He bashes the Christian thing. God was all about, God is love, and if Jesus walked the earth today, you know what? He would take the whore and the thief, right, to his side, to his left and to his right, and it's yes, us. We're all God's children. Fuck it. Don't you understand? We're all part of God's creation, and we're all God, and God is all around us. You don't have to go to church. You can lift a rock, and it's like God is not. And if you call him Allah, if you call him Buddha or whatever, enlightenment is being. It's not that hard to figure out, man. Wake up, people. You live in 2016. We're going into the 21st century. Wake the fuck up, man. Your brain is going. Some of us are gonna go way ahead of you. I turned 40. I fucking feel like I'm 18 in my spirit. I dance around. I have so much. I have a blast, and I'm in Yale. Goddammit. And I make the best of every single minute of my life. And then people sit and whine about all this bullshit, and I'm really sick of it. I'm really sick of it. Wake the fuck up. Have some respect for for the people around the world. Have some respect for the suffering that goes on. Have some respect for the fucking terror, the system of the big nations create around us. Wake up and see that they try to create a slavery, that everything is manipulated with. You're manipulated from when you were in school. It's been a plan for so many years. The Illuminati, whatever you call it. Wake up, get educated, educate yourself, and wake the fuck up. I cannot stress this enough. It's been 30 minutes of ranting for me now. I'm gonna stop. I am gonna return. I'm gonna probably try to divide this long rant into sections and explain more, because I started this rant talking about how I was an alcoholic and a drug abuser, how I became this way, and then I went into all this about drug being, and now I end up with the Illuminati and shit. But it all connects together, and I will continue making videos like this when I feel like it, and until then I will make howls, rants, whatever. DUIs, whatever I feel like, when the fuck I feel like it. And I hope somebody follows me, and if you do, I love you for it, and I thank you for it, and thank you so much for the support of the people who do support me. And if you think I'm a crazy fucker, thank you, because I'd rather be a crazy fucker than somebody who is ignorant to where the fuck he puts his feet next time. And namaste. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I know it's a rant, and I know I'm talking about Jeffree and Kat, but I'm just making a point, because they should be examples of being better people. And I think Kat kind of is, but I also think Jeffree kind of is, even though he shows off his flashing time. He's just happy, man. But you should remember all the poor children, all the fucking, not only the gays who got shot in Orlando or where it was. Yeah, I think it was Orlando. But that there are 1 million dying at the second, and children are abused, and there's so much hate in the world. Go do something about that. You are rich people. Go donate to everybody, and you can live in a super apartment or whatever. I'm just so sick of this world being so unfair and so uneven, and these people. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm gonna continue making videos. I hope I don't lose your subscribers, even though I'm ranting so much. I'm a little scared to put this video up, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because you know what? That's who I am. Okay? I love you. Namaste. Bye-bye. Peace. Okay? Peace. And yes, us. Yes, us. Hello, man. Love is all. All is love. Hello, wake the fuck up, okay? Come in, Compton. It is a Danish, it's me. Get in the fight, come on, fight for it, okay? You gotta fight for freedom, you gotta fight for your right to party. Okay, bye-bye, love.